Alright guys, so this time around I have something that I've been actually wanting for a long time. And I got it and I was testing it. It's the Coupor T6. It looks like this right here. And I'm not going to go too much into how it looks and all that because there's already videos out there of how it looks. I'm going to give you my impressions of it. I guess this is kind of an overview in my terms. So it's going to be subjective, obviously, to whatever I like, and so on and so forth. Now, I was waiting for this mod because it hits every aspect that I'm looking for. It looks quality. Just the case just screams quality. You open it up, you have your instruction manual here. The mod comes right there, like such. In there, you have your USB cable, your screws, and your screwdriver. Pretty basic. The box itself looks very nice. It's cardboard, but it's like wood grainy display cardboard. It has the authenticator here that I just didn't scratch off because I know it's authentic, right? I bought it. The price range is about $100-ish, depending on where you get it. And so that is pricey. Now, compared to other variable wattage devices, not so pricey. But when you're looking at just what it is, a vaporizer, it is expensive. So if you're gonna go out and invest in it, I want to let you guys know my impressions on it. Okay, so let's go to the mod itself now. It is damn near perfect as far as size-wise. The size of this thing, I freaking love it. So if we take a look at the Hannah clone, and we just go side by side, right there, it's just a little bit taller, not much taller. Now, the width-wise, the height's a little bit taller, but the width-wise is identical. Left and right, if anything, the Hannah is actually a little bit bigger, left to right. Slightly though, it's equivalent. And then the only really big difference is that the T6 is fatter. Fatter to the point where it's actually comfortable in the hands. It fits, it's portable. Everything that I carry with this is actually compatible with so far, because I have a little pouch in my car and I set this in there all the time, and I vape on it, set it in there. This thing fits in that pouch. It's comfortable in the pocket, it's not too big. And so as far as the overall size goes, you guys saw it. The battery pack, this is also something that I've been wanting. It's a 26650. The internals are very clean. 26650, so you do have that 35 milliamp battery in there, 3500 milliamp battery, which will last you quite a bit of time. Will actually last me the whole day, almost, depending on how much I vape, but it will last me generally the whole day, which is freaking fantastic. Because the biggest flaw with the Hannah mods, or even the Hannah mods clones, or any kind of DNA 30 device with a single battery, is that the battery life sucks on it. Okay, I already put scratches on the screen by rubbing my t-shirt. So this is still fairly new for me. I have been using it for quite a while now, a few days now, but yeah, it gets scratches really easy on the screen, guys, so be careful what you wipe it down with. A couple of things. After this thing goes blank, right after the display turns off, there's no, you don't have to press it and wait for the screen to come back on, and just press it on fire right away. So that's good. The wake up is kind of the fire at the same time. It'll wake it up and fire at the same time, which is actually fantastic. The back door is held in by magnets, which is always good. Let me see here. And you have your wattage up, your wattage down, your fire. The buttons are great. I actually prefer it over the little dinky tactile buttons. This button is just fantastic. How it performs. It does good. It does good, but at 50 watts on this thing, this is at 50 watts with a 0.79 ohm coil, 0.78 ohm coil, will be equivalent to like 28 watts on this. So how it performs, pretty janky actually. That's the only con about this device. It has a USB charge port in the bottom, which is fantastic. You can also upgrade the software in this module. There's no hot glue. There's no anything holding anything in here. The chip is all done very professionally, very clean, and all that. So, as far as aesthetics and everything else goes, this thing is freaking awesome. Everything I'm looking for in a mod is here. Extended battery life, variable voltage up to 100 watts, if it worked. Adjustable center pin, USB charging on board. The size of this thing. The size of this thing is not that big at all. So, definitely something where I could maybe tuck it in and cover it with my hands like this. So as you can see, it's very, very, very comfortable in the hands. So here's my biggest concern about this. The power. It does not output the power that it states. This doesn't. I tested it with the inline voltage meter. I tested it with my multimeter. Both tests show that it's not powering what it's supposed to power. So, what can I say about this? I mean, I really want to give this a thumbs up. I really do. I really like this device. This was supposed to be my end-all device. My device that I stop using any other device and just use this one solely. Just because if it does what it says it's supposed to do, it was everything I wanted it to be, really. Large battery, longer battery life, USB charger just in case I need to charge it on the go, magnet backdoor for easy access, very clean, adjustable center pin, everything about it. The size was perfect. Now the only issue I have is that it doesn't output the power that it's supposed to. So with a 0.3 ohm coil, at its 100 watt setting, I get roughly like 40 watts on a 0.3 ohm. So it doesn't vape worth crap. I hate to say this, but I mean, it is what it is. I can't really say anything else about it. The only issue with this as well is that it'll overheat on you very quickly. Anything above 50 watts. So even if it's only outputting 40 watts, if you have it set above 50 watts, you can only take a few pulls before it says CPU too hot. So something like this here, my Vulcan. Go ahead and wipe it down real quick. I vape this on my mechanical mod, just because I really like the vape on just a charged battery. The ohms is low enough where I could just rely on a mechanical to vape this. So now let's go ahead and screw this on here, and I'll kind of show you just a bit. As you see, this went blank. As soon as I press the fire button, it will fire. See, it will. It says check atomizer, huh? Okay, screw it down a little more. There we go. So I mean, it will fire right away. So we got a 0.28 ohm coil, which it's not, but it says 0.28 here. Okay, 0.28 ohm coil. It's okay, but it's not 50 watts. So let's go crank this sucker up to what? Let's go 100 watts. 100 watts. Now, 100 watts on a 0.28 ohm coil. It's supposed to be 5.3 volts. This is supposed to be unvapable. Unvapable to the point where I'm going to be like, it's a little too warm. Let's see the performance on this. I'll back up for you just to show you, juice it up. 100 watts, guys, on a 0.28 ohm coil. Does that seem like 100 watts to you guys? I don't know if you can tell, but now let's look at 28 watts on a tow. 28 watts, I mean on a tugboat at 0.7 ohms. $100 watts, supposedly. You guys see that? So it's not giving me even remotely 100 watts. If I check it on the voltmeter, it's giving me some puny, junky, non-realistic, or non-vapable, really. I would not be satisfied with this vape at the wattage it's at right now. 50 is the sweet spot for this mod. But the amount of vapor is just horrid. The amount of power, not vapor, because really power is it's underpowered like hell. So for instance, I'm gonna go ahead and connect it just to a mechanical mod. Just get one of these old batteries here. Pop the sucker in. So this is how I expect it to perform. This is just on a mechanical. Back up here. A lot denser, a lot more flavor off of mechanical. Fully charged, so I guess 4.2, but then if you include the voltage drop with whatever the coil is taking up, we're looking at like 3.8, 3.9 volts. That's how I expected this to perform at 70 watts-ish. It did not. Very disappointing as far as the power goes. Everything else is freaking fantastic. So if you're in the market for something that does 50 watts-ish, you're good to go. Doesn't really do 50 watts-ish because I have this homemade mod. That's a 50 watt mod, and this thing kicks the crap out of that mechanical, the mechanical mod. Obviously, I'm using 2 batteries and I'm bucking it down, but still, this thing performs much better than the mechanical on a full charge. So when you really think about it, this thing does not even perform what a mechanical could do at 0.3. Bottom line, I can't recommend it just because it doesn't do what it says it's supposed to do. I'm on the fence about returning this because I don't like returning products. And what I noticed is with a 0.8 ohm coil, it tends to perform pretty nicely, at least nice enough for me to keep and use. Battery life's good. I mean, I've been using the same battery at my 48%. I've been chain vaping it. So, it's been vaping alright. Already at 50 degrees, guys. The cutoff is 60. So this thing overheats kind of quickly. So you could chain vape it at 50 watts, decent amount of times, but you will overheat eventually. So 52 degrees. It's on 53 degrees. I'm not going to go to the point where it says CPU too hot once it reaches 60. And that's kind of a disappointment, very much so, because I expected so much from this, and that's the problem with expecting so much from certain devices. Sometimes it just doesn't deliver. Coupor T6, guys, did not deliver. It gets a 2 thumbs down because it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and then the bang for your buck is not freaking there. It does not perform even what a 30 watt device could perform. So if you guys are looking for a 100 watt device, I suggest you go to the IPV or the Sageli. Pay just a little bit more, I believe, but it is an actual 100 watts. You're not going to have to worry about the power. The size-wise, what I was intentionally wanting was the Sageli 50 watt. I really wanted that device because of the size, although the battery life kind of worried me. But apparently where I purchased it, it was out of stock. They returned my money, so I ended up just getting one of these. And what a disappointment, guys. I don't know what to say. Coupor started off so well with their DNA30 clones. Did so well. It was one of the first DNA30 clones that actually didn't perform exactly like the DNA30s, but I mean, it was performing. Even now, for you guys that haven't tried the authentic DNA 30 board, it is worlds different from any of the clones so far that I tried. When you go and test it in a voltmeter or a Woodrow multimeter, you do get 0.5-ish volts under what you're supposed to get with the clone chips. Whereas with the DNA 30, it's pretty much spot on. It regulates very well. It boosts very well. And boosting is a hard thing to do, as you can see with this. This thing doesn't boost worth crap. But, like I said, it went to sleep, you press it, it just fires right away. I'm not sure if you could hear that, but... that's all I have to say. I'm probably not going to return this because I just really like how it is aesthetically. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I have a Sigelli 100 watt coming. I really don't want to buy one. I did not want to get one just because I have so many freaking devices, and this one was supposed to be my 100 watt regulated. But since this is not performing, I had no choice but to pull the trigger on the 100 watt. So I'll go ahead and do an overview on that when that comes in. As far as the Coupor T6, guys, it is very much a disappointment. It does not do what it's supposed to do, guys. And for the money you're paying for it, you're better off just getting a DNA 30 or the new DNA 40s and performing the way they're supposed to. Unlike this, where I had to put it on 50 watts to get 28 watts worth of power. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I've been very busy, very busy lately. Like I said, with my work changing, my schedule changing, I'm going to be actually going to Korea next month. So I'm going to be out of the country, but hopefully I can shoot a video there. I could kind of show you the vape scene in another country, and that'd be pretty awesome. As far as right now in Korea, vaping is still kind of taboo. Researchers say it's bad for you, and that's just, in my opinion, the government pushing tobacco instead of vape. But when I'm there, hopefully I'll shoot a video so you guys can see what vaping is in another country and how it kind of compare it to America and how everything is. So that'll be fun. Alrighty, so again, thank you for all my new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You guys have a good one.